All right, guys. I'm here. I'm talking to the man, the myth, the legend, LordKnight.
What's going on, bro?
Today, we're going to be talking about the really OP characters, okay? Everyone, I always clickbait you guys with my thumbnails. Oh, this character's so OP. But today, we're talking about characters that are actually broken, overpowered, ridiculously good. So you guys can look at these and then stop complaining about the flavor of the month top tier in whatever game you're playing.
So, the first character I want to share with you is actually the first character I ever won a major with in my entire life, which is Kohaku. So, Kohaku, this is specifically MBAA PS2 version. So the PS2 version is actually like rebalanced because the original arcade version is pretty busted. In this version, oh look, there's me.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Dude, the empty ballroom. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. It's like 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., you know, the old anime slot.
Running Kohaku mirrors.
In this version of Melty Blood, there are 3 grooves, kind of like CBS2. There's crescent, half, and full. And we're going to be talking about half specifically. Looking back, Half Moon Kohaku is either the best character in the game or tied for the best character in the game. And the main reason is because she has all the Kohaku stuff, and she has a comboable command grab. So she's a grappler. So she's like the third grappler in this game. Like Koma, there's Satsuki in quotes. Koma is like the real one. But then there's also Half Moon Kohaku, and specifically, so I have a sequence here. So she gets a 50-50 off her air throw, which is poke throw. So they hold it. So here's the command grab. So she can combo off her command grab. Her command grab's like a normal, and you can just cancel it into a normal, where C Kohaku can't really do that. You get this loop combo. It builds a lot of meter. And the knockdown that you get, so you get to put this bomb, and this game has a parry system, shield, they call it shield. The main thing that you need to know for this is that she, in this game, has one of the only moves that you can't shield or parry, whatever you want to call it, at all, and it's the bomb explosion. So it creates a pretty screwed up, like basically unblockable, where you set the bomb at the end of your command grab combo, because it's one of the only times you can knock down with a normal, so you just cancel it into the bomb. And then you command grab them and you time it so that if they jump, then they block the bomb and you jab them and do a loop again. If they sit there, then you grab them. If they have a DP, you can hold back for like a second and then grab in case they do a reversal DP. So you have like really good option coverage, and it loops into itself. So this means that from here, so I pull up, you get the grab, 1, 2, 3. This combo takes a lot of practice in this version, but very worth. I just do the whole thing.
That combo's so cool. Like the second sword hit like hits meaty, so you get like extra frames. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's how you manage to connect it. And you saw that it comboed from the bomb.
Yeah. So
the bombs are boom, and
oh man,
you just do it again. And as long as you don't drop, you can just loop this until they die. Especially if they don't have a reversal, or if they're not Crescent Moon, then they can't heat right away. There's a really, really, really strong tactic. It does require some execution, but it's one of those, like, you might as well do it if you play this character type of thing. So they nerfed her, of course, over time, because that command grab combo in the arcade version would do legitimately 50% of your life. In this version, it does like 40-ish%. 30 to 40% depending on what you're looking at. So she's one of those like easy, high damage, fast strike throw, and the strike throw leads into like nightmare situation as long as you don't miss it.
Oh, and then like the set play, like from the bomb, like the way that the bomb basically like reduces their options for like what they can do. It just seems so strong.
Very, 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 very limited options because you can't shield it.
All right, seems fun. Seems enjoyable for all parties involved.
Fun, yes, 100%. I'm a huge fan.
All right, so I've gone to games. These were all games that we played on my Discord tournaments. We have a series where we randomly like pick a game off Fightcade, and everyone has to basically like play it blind. So this game is called Daraku Tenshi: The Fallen Angels. And what's interesting about this game is it was actually canceled. It never actually like came out commercially, but the game is like done, so you can like play it. on emulator. And there's this character, Roche. This character is a problem, okay? So, first of all, if we just look at, like, move speed, he can walk forward faster than you can walk backward, and he can walk backward faster than you can walk forward. So, move speed, he really, really outcompetes the whole cast. And this is a pretty, like, Street Fighter, like, ground-based game. And this even applies to dashing, like, you can't backdash away from him, but he can backdash away from you. So, he's just too fast. So, that's one problem. And then his normals and his combos are just way too good. So combos are a little bit weird in this game. There's no combo counter. So we have to use the emulator combo counter here. But you can see that is a real combo. And this is a real combo as well. So that's all real. So he can hit confirm off of basically any hit to these ridiculous juggle combos and deal 50% really easily. So his combos are insane and he gets damage off of anything. Like this is just off jab. Off jab, he gets like full launcher into combo. So that's really crazy as well. His mix-up is really good. So he has this command dash that he can do a throw out of. So like if you're blocking him, you know, you're blocking, he kind of mixes you up where it's like, okay, if you mash, you can get, you know, interrupted by him special canceling into launcher, and then, you know, he combos you. But if you're just like, okay, I'll block, then he can command throw you. And then you're like, okay, well, I'll jump then. I'll jump. That's fine. But it turns out of command run, he has a command grab that will actually catch you jumping. So you can see I caught him out of the air there.
Yeah.
So it catches jumping, and it catches crouching. The same move.
Oh.
So that beats crouching, it beats jumping. The only thing that really beats this move is like mashing. Whoa. What was that? Hold on, that's crazy. Yeah. So you can interrupt him. You know, you can mash him out of it. That's like the only answer to this move. But you should be scared to mash because he can just special cancel into like anything and, you know, interrupt the mash and then kill you. And that's not to mention his super. His super is probably the most broken thing about the character. So I don't know how many frames his super is because there's no like good frame data or anything. But I think it's like 1 frame or 2 frames. It's very, very fast. So
it looks like it freezes.
Yeah, it like... so that was a combo. It combos off any normal. So you can do like any combo like this and go into super. And then guess what? He can combo off super into extra damage.
Oh.
So the super works off everything because of the way frame data is in this game. I guess they thought that like, okay, it's okay for everything to be plus because you can't go into anything, but then they forgot that they made his super like 1 frame. So yeah, it just works off any normal. So off an average combo for Roche, let's see how much damage we can do here. And it doesn't look like any of that's comboing, but you can see the combo counter is
going up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a casual Roche combo. We did 79 out of 97, so like 80% just off a random jumping. And you can do all of that off of jab.
What's funny about him is that like I'm ready. YouTube comments hit me. He doesn't seem broken. He seems really overtuned.
Yeah, like there's nothing in his kit that is like, you know, a character shouldn't have this. Maybe except for the command grab thing, I think is a little bit stupid.
The command grab thing I think is like rule breaking, but like all the other stuff you showed is stuff that like other characters in other games, similar games by the way, I should say, not like comparing like Marvel 3 to like this game. Like, you know, like comboing out your super, like, you know, Third Strike Chun has that.
Right.
Like, you know, like that thing exists. I think it's just like how accessible his hit confirm is, how much damage he does, and like the command grab. He seems like really over. What I mean is, it looks really easy to fix without dumpstering him.
Yeah, I think that's true. If the game ever actually came out, maybe they would have. Maybe they would have fixed it.
I like that too because I could segue really easily. So specifically, one thing that I thought that was interesting about the character you picked is that he's from a game that's not out. So there's a couple lanes you can go with it. If I was like super sweat, ultra sweat, maximum sweat, okay, I was like, it's not a real game. It didn't even get released. There's no tournament, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still worth looking at the tools and stuff and being like, okay, but like, why is it like this? And like, how does this affect the game? How can we learn from this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm picking something right next door, right? So it's
Okay.
not a game that's unreleased, but it's a game that nobody has played. And but I'm gonna make you laugh when you see it too, though. You might be like, okay, this is Guilty Gear Xrd. What do you mean nobody played this? But
Yeah.
this is the lost version. This is Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator, the arcade 1.0 that has never been played outside Japan.
Oh.
This was only played in Japan for like a few months. So I'm gonna talk about Xrd Revelator 1.0 Johnny, because the version, like there's a version select actually in Guilty Gear Xrd, right? That lets you go down from Rev 2 to Rev 1, but it is not this version. It is a console update with some minor updates. And I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. I have a plan to talk about another game that kind of falls in this line. So this is the original Johnny. And when we look back at like Xrd and stuff, probably the character that gets talked about the most is Elfelt, just because of like who are creators in Guilty Gear, right? It's like me and Kizzy and stuff. We're both legendary elephant haters, right? But if we played this version, one thing is that we just truly got spared. So the thing about this version of Johnny is he's pretty similar to the 1.0, like the console 1.0 that we have. The only thing is, imagine that Johnny just with everything faster, everything less recovery, basically.
Okay.
So you can't whiff punish any of his buttons. He combos off everything just like we're used to, because you know they streamlined his combo structure compared to XX, for better or for worse, depends on who you're talking to. So he has like amazing normals, amazing pressure, the new misfinder system. So it's all the stuff that we're familiar with top tier Johnny, and both the version we got in console and the current version are nerfed, and they're still top tier, arguable best characters. So he has all that stuff, plus the Blitz glitch, plus the Bakusai glitch. So if you're not aware of that, it's when you know how Johnny has like the fog that he puts on you, and the effect is once you have the fog on the opponent, it makes the next misfinder is unblockable. And in the console version, it was found that if for some reason you hit Johnny while you have the mist on you, it doesn't matter. You just get unblockable anyway.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, like your hit. You mean the fog doesn't go away? That's what you're saying?
No, the fog goes away. I will say it took me hours to find this clip because, again, it's kind of circling back to what we were talking about. Like, there's no addition selects. So Xrd has addition select, but if you bring it down to Rev 1, they like patch this glitch out anyway. So you can't try it in a console version. Maybe you could do it on PS3, but not on Steam. So this is the clip. So he's gonna get comboed into the mist, burst, so the mist is gone, unblockable.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
yeah. So he has that. He has the glitch where sometimes when he blitzes, when he does the parry, he doesn't use meter. Sometimes just for fun. He has all his normals have like no recovery, everything combos. He has a new misfinder which is much different from the XX one that is way more applicable as a whip punish, full combos off everything. He just has, it's like current Johnny plus glitches plus impossible to whip punish.
Guilty Gear accent core plus glitches
plus.
So people dealt with this for months?
Yeah, months.
No, oh my god. Why? I was like, why would you even play the game if like you're fighting against this character? I don't know.
Well, to be fair to them, us poor console players, we did have to play against console Elfelt, console launch Elfelt, who I was considering picking, but I bully Elfelt so much that I was like, let me just not pick her the one time.
All right, so this game is called The Killing Blade Plus. And I just want you to guess, what year do you think this game came out?
Because you're asking, I'm gonna say 2021.
No, it came out 2005.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a shocking number. When you look at the game, I mean, the thing is though, the original The Killing Blade came out in 98. And then this was the update that came out 7 years later for whatever reason. And yeah, this it's all in Chinese, so I had to use the internet to find out what the characters' names are. I believe that this guy is just called like Lord Wizard. I believe that's his name, Lord Wizard.
That's sick.
When people talk about the most broken characters in all of fighting games, I feel like the one character that gets brought up a lot is Ivan Ooze, right? Ivan Ooze is like the most broken character of all time, according to some people. I don't know if you've heard this.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic one that people talk about.
I think that Lord Wizard is the only character I've ever found that rivals Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze is better because Ivan Ooze can attack out of hit stun and block stun. So Lord Wizard cannot do that. But other than that, I think Lord Wizard is like almost as broken, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so he's his owner. So he has a lot of really powerful projectiles, and they do some interesting things. So like one thing is you can cut off the recovery of his heavy projectile by doing it low to the ground. So you can see you can combo fireball into fireball by using this little trick. So he can do some really crazy stuff where he can do fireball into fireball and then combo into super. So he has
melee type stuff.
Exactly. Yes, it's like L canceling. Yeah, he has a full screen super that combos off of everything. And it tracks. A lot of damage. So yes. Keep in mind you do have 2 life bars in this game, so you can see it. So it did about 50%, I guess. And this super is also not punishable. So you can see if he blocks it, I can attack him on the way down.
Oof.
So that's pretty fair. Some other things with his projectiles, he's got air fireball, like Akuma air fireball, right? And, you know, Akuma air fireball is always really good, but it has this problem where, you know, the opponent can, like, walk under it. You know, you're like, I'm trying to do this with one hand while I walk with the other hand.
You're a master, because you're a master.
There we go. So you can walk under it and punish, right? That's like the downside of these air fireballs. But that's not the case with him, because he can attack on the way down. So he can hit you on the way down and prevent you from punishing. Or he can do more air fireballs.
Oh my god.
Yes.
No limit?
So this is actually an infinite. I guess it's not a true infinite because you do lose some height, but you can pretty much always do 100% with this. So yeah, that's pretty fair.
Okay.
The ground version of this move is anti-air, which doesn't seem that good. It's like, okay, it's an anti-air fireball, who cares? But guess what? This is an infinite too. So yeah, I'm dropping the combo, but yeah, you can do 100% that way. All these things are really, really broken. You know, his fireballs, his ability to confirm into super, his air fireball zoning. All these things are really, really broken, but that's not the worst thing. The most broken thing in this character's kit is his teleport. So this teleport, I think, is up there with the most overpowered moves ever in a fighting game. So you can see he is completely inaccessible when he's teleporting. There's nothing you can do. You have to wait it out. So right off the bat, like, the stalling tactic of this teleport is out of control. Like, look, I can't catch him. He can move away faster than I can catch him. And you know, he's incorporeal. He's not touchable. So you can time out. If you get the life lead, you can really effectively just time out using teleport. And it has no recovery frames. So yeah, you can see I can attack instantly out of teleport. And I can cross up with it. I can do all kinds of shenanigans. So like it's hard to exactly see how stupid this is, but like imagine I'm player 2 here and I'm just like, okay, I just need to like hit this guy when he stops teleporting, right? So I'm just gonna throw out a bunch of hitboxes and try to hit him when he leaves teleport. But it doesn't happen, you just get hit. Oh wait, he has one more fun infinite, by the way. So he has air fireball infinite, and he also has ground fireball infinite. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh my god, bro.
Tough stuff right here. Oh, I dropped it. I was doing so well. And of course, any of these can combo into super as well.
Yeah, in case you're not feeling your execution, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, and he has a damaging throw as well. Most damaging throw in the game. Yeah, he's just out of control. So that's about it for Lord Wizard. I legitimately do think that Lord Wizard is not as good as Ivan Ooze, but he's damn close.
Yeah. For characters like that, like, I always feel like it's fun to talk about, but it's also like almost not fun to talk about too, because it's just like, oh, like it's just like everything, you know, like, oh, every button is an infinite, nothing has recovery, like it's just like, oh, I look at my one button infinite, you know what I mean? But I mean, if you're talking about broken, I mean, it's broken.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look, you haven't even purchased the DLC of the most overpowered character.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about her. I think a lot of people have talked about her. I think a sad thing for the game is that I wasn't playing the game when she came out because unlike the UI thing, now, you know, it was like kind of hive mind. I know someone's gonna come at me like, yo, you don't understand. I'm like, bro, I don't understand. You're right. I wasn't playing that version, but I'm sure I would have had something to say. So I'm not gonna talk about her. I feel like I keep repeating myself on like it sucks that we can't get old versions of the game very easily. But I want to actually talk about one of my least favorite characters in this game.
Oh, man.
Launch Adult Gohan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We learn history because we must not forget. That's where this came from. It's because of him. Launch Adult Gohan. So there's a couple of things. And when I say launch, I mean like launch. Like in season 1 of Dragon Ball FighterZ, there were a handful of patches. I want to say like 3 or 4 patches. And I definitely think the first patch addressed a couple of Adult Gohan things. So there's essentially like 3 reasons why he's really stand out when technically 4 reasons why the character stood out so much when the game came out. So one is, one of the things I really despise when people talked about him is his combos with legs. They're like, oh, it's so saucy, right? So saucy, like leg loops, so saucy. Okay, what do you mean? Where this move is just a core circle forward. However, I know, I'm being mean to him. However, I will say at launch, it was extremely uncommon for characters to have combos like that with that type of reward. For example, one of the characters I was known for is Trunks, right? And like a lot of the combos you see now, like this is probably like an outdated combo, right? Okay, so it's like this, into like this type of thing. So he didn't get like that type of routing until later patches. Like at the beginning, he didn't really have that much. He had like a flip loop where you do like the light cyclone over and over. But so Adult Gohan was like one of the only characters who even had extensions like that in the game. It's like him, Bell, not a lot of characters that had these type of options. So he was able to do like assist level damage by himself in a lot of scenarios. That was really valuable. Thing number 2 doesn't come from Adult Gohan, but it comes from the assist. So one very big problem in this game is that everyone has an anti-air, which is crouching H, 2H, but with all the varied air movements and off-screen assist calls and delay super dashes, it can be very hard to anti-air somebody. And when the game came out, one of the only anti-air assist options you had was Adult Gohan, which is that.
Yeah.
It was not only anti-air, but also it was invincible, and it was in the group of fastest assists in the game. So, yeah, so it was incredibly fast. Basically, just appears and boom, as opposed to, let's say, I switch here. Let's say I call SSJ Vegeta. He like comes out, jump, shoot. Or Adult Gohan's like, boop, just like that.
It's crazy to think about that being invincible. It has been so long since that assist has been invincible.
Since that's been invincible, and it made it so that like it's just really easy to get pressure, you know, in a game where it's really hard to get like this type of setup. And the issue is, I'll show it with a different move. So it's this.
Yeah.
So the real one would be this. This is his normal DP. And on launch, you could call assists after DP. This was incredibly powerful. So basically imagine something like this, basically. But this is me calling the assist first. So you could legitimately reversal, call, and it would look something kind of like this, you know, and you would just get your pressure back. It was really, really, really hard to deal with. And, like, on top of all like the delay teching, reflecting, air teching, like on top of all that stuff, you also have to worry about sparking blast, and this on top of that. Like, it's just like way too much on defense. Of course, they took it out of the game, so that's fine. But
I feel like there has never been a time where they introduce a mechanic to make a reversal safe and they don't have to nerf it. Like, every game, like DPFADC is another example. Like, they nerfed DPFADC like 500 times because it was just too good to do an invincible DP and then be like, oh, I guess I'm safe.
Yeah, in a lot of contexts, right?
I'm not even just save. I guess it's still my turn, even though you block the DP.
Yeah, like the only one that endures is just like DPRC. That's like the only one that endures throughout the years. Besides that, like all the various like invincible move plus whatever they nerf over time. And then there's just one more. Okay, so it's this, and that used to be a hard knockdown.
Yeah.
So for 1 bar, you could do if you don't play Dragon Ball FighterZ, having a mix-up level 3 is extremely valuable. Not every character has it. They are very, very intentional with who gets to do mix-ups and who doesn't. So in the launch version, Adult Gohan was one of the characters that had a way of getting an old school fighting game hard knockdown from just like whatever, and he would just mix you off that, which was extremely valuable. So they took both of them away. The two that I remember offhand were Adult Gohan and Android 16. And
of course, they nerfed both. The command grab, the 16 command grab.
Yeah. So those are basically the reasons. It really matters in this game because like a lot of characters have similar tools. So having this much stuff that stand out compared to the rest of the characters really matters.
It's interesting. I feel like obviously everybody knew that Adult Gohan was good, but I feel like the reasons have kind of like people latch on to things that seem really good, but it turns out like he's good for like other reasons. Like a big one for me was like people just say, well, you know, he makes you block forever.
Yeah, which is I could have mentioned that. But a lot of characters in that version make you block forever, so it's not like a special thing. Like, is he good at it? Yeah, sure. But I wanted to make sure I talked about stuff that he specifically had that other characters didn't have.
And people also talk about his fastfall. That was like the other reason. People were like, dude, he's got fastfall. That's too cheap.
It's not that cheap.
I know, yeah, because people got so good at defense in this game that I feel like that's not enough.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool. This was a really fun list for sure. I think it's always fun talking to you because you're so good at these games that I really have like no background in. You know, Dragon Ball. I played Dragon Ball, but yeah, like, Guilty Gear and Melty Blood and stuff are just so far outside of my field of view. So it's always a good learning experience.
Yeah, no, I'm always glad to do these type of just looking back on stuff. You know, like we kept talking about like certain versions and games not being out and stuff. So I think that stuff is cool. It's like something that exists in like across all games basically. It's not just limited to just like, oh, these group of games type thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't want things to get lost to the sands of time. We must remember how good Adult Gohan was in season.
We learn history because we must not forget.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right. Well, where can the people find you, LK? Give it a shout out.
And so basically got 3 main things going on. We got the Twitter. That's LordKnight BB. The BB can be for whatever you think it is. Billionaire Boys, Blaze Blue, whatever is fine. And then we have YouTube, which is LordKnight. It's at LordKnight FGC. Since Ragnarok Online is so popular, I can never lock down LordKnight anything except on Twitch, where it's just twitch.tv/LordKnight. Because I got in really early on Justin TV, so I got it there. So
the legacy Justin TV account.
Yeah. So if you want to hang out, watch some videos, I'm trying to collab more this year too. You can find me on all 3. So thank you so much.
All right, hell yeah, sounds good. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.